Hey, it's Theo, and thank you for joining me for my card reviews. And today we'll be going over Shaman, or some would say Shaman. As always, I won't be wasting your time with endless intros or talking 8 minutes about a single card. No, I'll be doing every card in 1 minute or less. So let's get started with the very first card, which is the quest for Shaman, the Spirit of the Mountain. And you need to play 7 minions of unique types for this one. And as reward, you get Echelon, Rich Guardian, which is a 5 mana 8/8 elemental beast, Battlecry adapted twice. For the rest of the game, give minions you play those adaptations. So that is play, not summon. It's a big difference, but still, that can be very powerful. You get stuff like Divine Shield, especially, I think is probably the most powerful one. Get like plus attack, plus health, Wind Fury. A lot of those stats can be really scary. So it's a really powerful reward, but you need to play 7 minions of unique types. So that can take a little bit of time. So it probably means you're going to be playing this in a very minion heavy deck, because otherwise, yeah, the Battlecry as well of the quest reward isn't going to be worth much. But these kind of quest rewards, it's pretty hard to judge how good they're going to be. Like, the reward is really good, but yeah, playing a minion heavy deck without probably a lot of mana cheat, I don't know if that can work nowadays, but I'll give this card 3 stars because it's just a really powerful effect. And the next card we have is the Mountain Map, a 1 mana spell. Discover a minion with a type you haven't played. If you play it this turn, also pick one of the others. So this is a bit like the Mage card, where you got another spell school, but yeah, spell school was from another class, and spells are always better than random minions. But yeah, just discovering a random minion is not very good, although it's from a type you haven't played, so it goes really well with the quest. But just discovering one minion just isn't worth it. But then yeah, when do you play it, right? Like turn 3. You probably likely get a 2-drop. I'm not sure the math on it, but you could also miss on it, and then yeah, you don't get a 2-drop or 1-drop, and then you kind of just get one minion, which you kind of need a 2 of. So it feels like it's a card, yeah, you're not playing outside of the quest, but yeah, you probably played with the quest because you really need the other tribals to make it work as quickly as possible. But yeah, I don't think it's gonna be amazing, so I'll be giving this 2 stars. Then the next card we have is the Flight of the Firehawk, a 3 mana fire spell. Draw 2 minions of different minion types, give them +2/+2. So this is a really strong card. As a base, it's draw 2 minions. It's also a fire spell, which could matter, probably not too much though. But also, yeah, it's different minion types that you draw. So you can tutor specific cards, and tutoring is always really, really strong in Hearthstone. And then on top of that, you also give them +2/+2. So maybe something like the 1-drop Murloc, you can give them the extra stats. You actually get 2 Murlocs with 3/3 stats. So that can be strong, or just anything else you want to tutor, right? It's just really nice to give them extra stats. And this works really well with the quest, because you need those different tribes of minions that you want to be drawing. But unlike the map, you can play this in basically any deck where you just want to draw cards and just draw 2 with upside and you tutor specific minions. So really, really strong card. So I'll be giving this one the rare 5 stars. And the next minion we have is the Cinderpin, a 2 mana 1/2 elemental Murloc. Death Rattle, summon a 2/1 Sizzling Cinder, and Sizzling Cinder we've already seen. It's this 2/1 of the Death Rattle. Deal 2 damage randomly split among all enemies. Now, just this looks like just a solid 2-drop, right? It has the Elemental and Murloc tribe, so it works also well with the quest again. And it just goes well into an Elemental deck, Murloc deck, if that is a thing. I doubt it, but yeah, it has those 2 tribes, so that's really good. The base stats though, right, the 1/2, not the greatest, but you do get that Sizzling Cinder afterwards. So yeah, just a solid minion overall, right? Just it has the tribals, that's probably the strongest part about this. And then you get 2 minions in 1 card for just 2 mana. So solid, like I said, so 3 stars. Then the next minion we have is the legendary Brawlba Searstone, a 3 mana 1/5. Your elementals deal 1 extra damage. So that means with the Sizzling Cinder, it deals twice 2 damage, the Death Rattle, because it adds 1 damage to every point of damage. And yeah, this is a bit like the Void Touch Attendant for Priest, but this one only buffs elementals, is more expensive, so quite a bit worse. But Void Touch Attendant as 1 mana was really broken. And obviously, yeah, this card really synergizes well with those Sizzling Cinders, who have more of those cards as well. But this card only really works with big elemental boards and the Sizzling Cinders. And yeah, most of the time, I feel like, the opponent is going to be clearing board, especially with a card like this. So I feel like it's very hard to get enough value out of this card. Nice thing also is just you can play this, right? Just trade like 2 Sizzling Cinders. That can be nice board control. But yeah, this card itself also is an elemental. So yeah, it's pretty limited in its use. So I'll be giving this card 2 stars. Then another card with the Sizzling Cinders is the Slack Claw, a 5 mana 3/4 elemental dragon. Battlecry, summon 2/1 Sizzling Cinders. Kindred, trigger your Sizzling Cinders death rattles. And if you don't know Kindred, it means that you have to play the tribes at the bottom the turn before. So in this case, Elemental Dragon to make it work. So another card with 2 tribes, so that's really good to complete the quest. Also, you trigger the Kindred with the Elemental Dragon. So if you're playing an Elemental, it's pretty easy to trigger. There's a lot of Elementals in Shaman. So then it's like the 3/4, you get 4 damage and those 2 Sizzling Cinders. So I think for 5 mana, that is a pretty decent way to get the 3 minions with those tribals as well. And this card has the Elemental Dragon tag to help complete your quest if needed. So I think just, it does a lot of things for 5 mana. Just a solid card overall, so we're giving it 3 stars. Then the next card with the Sizzling Cinders we have is the Sizzling Swarm, a 6 mana fire spell. Deal 3 damage, summon that many 2/1 Sizzling Cinders. So this is almost a bit like Implosion, but instead of imps, you get the Sizzling Cinders, which are quite a bit better, but this card is also quite a bit more expensive. Now, by itself, this looks not very good, like deal 3, summon 3 Sizzling Cinders. That is not amazing, but if you can buff this, like we'll get to a card, right, that gives you 2 spell damage on this card, potentially, then it's deal 5 damage, summon 5 Sizzling Cinders. That gets a lot better, right? It's a bit like the Deathborn, where you get a big board of minions with the death rattles. But Deathborn also cleared the board, though you required there to be a board. But if you buff this card, there's a lot of damage, right? Deal 5/10. If you have 5 Sizzling Cinders, that's also another 10 of those. That could be like 15 damage, but I felt like it's just really hard to pull something like that off. It's pretty expensive by itself, and I'm not sure really what you want to be playing this card in, so I'll be giving this 2 stars. Then we're going to Lava Flow, a 3 mana fire spell. Deal 2 damage to the lowest health enemy 3 times. Overload 1. So this is a bit like the Fell Barrage of Demon Hunter, which did this twice to the lowest health enemy for 2 mana without the overload. But this is a fire spell, and this card scales really well with spell damage, basically 3 times the usual spell. So if you give this card 2 spell damage, it's 3 times 4 damage, and on an empty board, that is 12 face damage for 3 mana, so that's really powerful. You can potentially just build decks around it with this kind of damage. If you can keep the board empty, play 2 of these with the spell damage. That hurts a lot. Without spell damage, it can just be 3 times deal 2. It's a bit like Piercing Shot maybe from Hunter, which is okay, but this is more expensive than that. Though this does target, you know what it's gonna target, so that's a bit of a bonus. But by itself, it's not amazing. But I think with spell damage, this can be really strong at killing the opponent. So I'm giving this card 3 stars. Then the buff I've been talking about is the Volcanic Thresher, the 3 mana 2/3 Elemental Beast. Battlecry, draw a fire spell. Kindred, give it +2 spell damage. So for this card, if you played an Elemental Beast the turn before, you get the spell damage. And those spells we already saw, they scale really well with spell damage, especially the previous card. And you can set this card up with the 2 mana Elemental Barlock we saw earlier. And just play this on 3. You get the draw a fire spell, play an Elemental Beast, which can also proc the quest if needed. And then potentially have a really strong fire spell with that spell damage. So this is another tutor card for Shaman. And again, tutors are very strong. And this draws 1 fire spell. And you can just play a few specific fire spells, right, that scale really well with the spell damage and make them all amazing when you draw it with this. So that makes this card, I think, quite strong. And I'll be giving this card 4 stars. Then the last card for Shaman we have is the Mechanized Magma, a 4 mana 2/5 Elemental Mag. Whenever you play a fire spell, gain stats equal to its cost. So this is another card with 2 tribes, Elemental and Mech this time. And this can get quite a lot of stats with the fire spells. But you do need to play this first, then play those fire spells, all you gain is stats. And I think historically, these kind of cards, when they cost a bit of mana, like this one at 4, they don't really see a lot of play, right? It's not really a card you want to tempo on 4. You want to play this in a deck with a bunch of fire spells, because otherwise it's not really worth it. But I don't think you're going to be playing a deck with a lot of fire spells in it. Just to play around this card, it's not worth building around it, just to gain stats. But then, if you wait and try and combine it in the same turn with a fire spell, you're going to be playing this like turn 6, 7, and then you just get stats. And you have to wait to evolve this card, and turn 6, 7, just a bit of stats. It's not really worth it. This card is just pretty terrible all around, I think, and I'll be giving this 1 star. So these are all the Shaman cards from the Lost City of Ongoro, and they seem pretty strong overall this set. A lot of good cards, only 1 really bad card, the last one. So it looks like Shaman might have a bit of a comeback this expansion. Please let me know what you think of it in the comments. Do you think Shaman will come back with the quest? the Sizzling Cinders and the other cards. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe to stay up to date with my reviews. Thank you for watching, and until next time.